Hello everyone, I'm Bearadactyl and welcome to Proxima. Like I said, Wednesdays I'm going to be playing a variety of games now that Helena's Inception is out of the way, which again, the final video for it, where I get the other ending, or endings, because there's two more, it will happen. But anyway, I'm going to be doing the typical trend of playing some interesting game that doesn't fit Fridays that I enjoy. Because I like adding more variety, I guess. Either way, sorry for the boring and awkward intro. This game is essentially post-apocalypse in space. Earth's resources have been completely exhausted. And I believe the goal is to find out... I don't know the goal. I know there's a chance to save humanity, possibly, but that's about it, so let's play. This may be multiple episodes, because this game, if I recall, can take anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour to complete. And these videos are typically 30 minutes, so let's go. Adventure, high graphics. Enter name. There we go. Start journey. Okay. There we go.
Scientists say these missions may be the last hope for the species' survival. The question is, will these brave men and women be able to accomplish this enormous task, or is this really our last futile gasp?
Probably our last futile gasp, but hey. Never said I was an optimist. Okay, this game is actually kind of pretty, though, let me, change the sensitivity a bit. There we go. Alright, so 75 should be good then. Yeah, that's better. It's a little floaty, but that's fine.
Welcome to Verdi Crater. As you know, this lake is one of the prime locations to harbor life on this planet.
Do I not have sprint? I do, but the sprint's very noticeable, so no pressure, huh? Yeah, no pressure at all. Saving humanity from our own greed.
My calculations indicate that this route has a 50% chance to lead to termination.
Termination. Make death sound so nice. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, simple enough. Platforming's not as awkward as I expected it to be. This does not look very habitable. This looks kind of, desert. Looks pretty dead to me. But I'll take a sample anyway. Take sample? Good.
Now we should head back to the hub. Perhaps
The
there's
hub.
an alternative route somewhere around here.
An alternative route, you say? So I'm assuming I can't just take it that back. I guess I'll just go forward, even though that makes 0 sense. Huh. There is some micro stutter, but eh. Play Fallout, so I'm used to that. This is a very pretty game, though. Oh, that is an invisible wall. Okay. Guess I'll just walk a big circle, I guess. Water is a good sign, though, I guess, technically, for life. Oh, so I'm jumping. Don't know how this will get me back. But, oh. No vitals. shotgun kill barriers are never a good thing.
Welcome to
It almost makes... That irritates me considerably.
This lake is one of the primal locations to harbor life on this planet.
How many times am I going to die because I'm just walking somewhere without a barrier? That's an immediate concern, and I don't like that. Since I'm already, like, basically right there, I don't see a point in...
Calculations indicate that this
So if you stop your momentum while jumping, your momentum stops carrying. You drop like a brick.
As you know, this lake is one of the primal locations to harbor life on this planet.
Maybe there's just a way. Maybe I could just take this way back, or can I not jump that high? And yes, I'm bunny hopping.
Warning. My calculations indicate that this route has a 50% chance to lead.
Okay, why is it not working? I'll be right back. I was going to say, I don't have to skip this. But what I get for,
As you know, this lake is
I always do that. I do something once, and then I can never do it again. We'll see. I did say I'll be right back, but I'm going to try it one more time.
My calculations indicate that this route
Okay.
has a 50% chance to lead to termination.
Yeah, cool. Termination. Got it. Okay, I got it this time. No need to fast forward. Cool. So what is the alternate path back? I guess that rock opening over there? Sure. Grab my sample, I guess. Looks pretty dead to me. Well, it's just H2O. It's probably fine.
Now we should head back to the hub. Perhaps there's an alternative route somewhere around here.
That's what I'm hoping for. That looks like an alternate route. Is the game going to screw me this time? I don't get... Why not have that barrier everywhere? Why have a spot that just instantly kills me? Oh, back to... Why didn't I just go around to begin with? Why did I have... What was the point of that? Cool. I have a guitar.
Welcome
And
back.
propane.
The hub's automatic logs indicate further damage to the generator. When possible, please head outside for a debrief.
Cool. Oh. Okay. Just strum it. Not playing it, that's just strumming it. Oh, cassette, so we're doing retrofuturism. Examine. Cool. And food. Wow, the frame rate in here is juddery as all hell. Okay. Look how it just teleports me back. Good blub. Bad blub. Okay. The voltmeter. Do I play chess with myself? That's a microscope, alright. Yeah, that micro stutter is... Oh my god, that's rough. Oh look. Soap. Wait, read? Hygiene is tough when you're an astronaut. It is especially tough if you're stranded on a giant rock 4.2 light years away from home. Just have a crate of soap. Okay. Wish I had a frame rate option, because I would choose to drop it rather than deal with that. So nothing to read there? Okay. Cool. Let's see. Don't know what that is. Okay, I found that. Whatever that is. Guess I can't collect it? Okay. Some things I can interact with, some things I don't. push, and nothing happens. Cool. 1 second. No frame rate control. Okay. A cracked mirror. A toothbrush. I swore that like gave me something. Oh, I can interact with the guitar through the... Okay. Go find those aliens. You know, children can be a pain in the ass, especially nowadays, since they're simply an extra mouth to feed. But they can also be incredibly sweet, caring, and innocent, something most of us haven't been able to be for a long, long time. How could we? We've been watching the world slowly, but surely dying, waiting the inevitable collapse of civilization. We live in a dark, dark era, but for just a little while, if they're lucky, children have the chance to play, to dream, and to be happy. As happy as one gets to be, I suppose. This microscope is one of the few science instruments that survived the crash. Still, sample after sample, I can't find anything that may be remotely described as alive. Maybe if I had the spectrophotometer. Computer. Oh god, I'm getting a lore dump. Well, here we go. They told us it might help our mental status to write personal logs during the mission about whatever we want, really, so I guess I'll try doing that. On that note, we've done it. At 2 p.m. EST, the United Nations Space Agency, UNSA, successfully deployed the 3 Argentavis Mark II crafts containing the 3 best and probably last astronaut crews in humankind's history. Each crew boarded a separate ship with a different, albeit similar mission, traveled to a close and potentially habitable exoplanet and colonize it. It may seem extreme, but the Earth is dying, and with it, so are humans. 100 years ago, we were 10 billion, now we're 10 million, living on a few isolated megacities desperately trying to stay above water, as well as survive countless other challenges. For a while, it looked like there was hope. Not of saving the planet, obviously, but of saving our species by building a colony on Mars. And that turned out great. So as a last resort, gathering the few resources they could salvage, the UN organized 3 missions attempting the impossible colonizing of other solar systems. Over the last century or so, scientific research has taken a backseat to more important priorities, such as, not dying. That's why it's a miracle that they could assemble the necessary technology and build everything in less than a decade. This really is humanity's last great effort to save ourselves. Let's see where it gets us. I have to say, I'm hopeful. I have to be. And this is the future we're looking toward if we don't fix the climate change situation. Like now. Like yesterday. Hot take? Honestly, kind of don't care at this point. You can deny science, or you accept that science is science. I still can't wrap my head around how insanely ambitious these missions are, and let's not forget that they chose the absolutely closest possibly habitable planets possible, so where are these ships going? First, we have the UNS Hope, which is going to Bernard's Star B. Not much can be said about this mission, other than it's probably suicide. BSB is barely inside the habitable zone and is most likely a frigid hellscape with no possibility of ever harboring life, much less an advanced civilization. We can call ourselves advanced, that is. However, as I said, this really is an all-or-nothing situation, so even if there's a 1% chance of saving humanity, we had to send a ship there. For that, BSB needs to have an atmosphere, an incredibly strong magnetic field, and a dozen other perfectly balanced traits to allow for the tiniest possibility of the development of life. But then again, so does Proxima B, so I guess we just have to hope for the best. Then there's UNS Salvation, which is heading to Fatima, a moon of Upsilon Andromeda D, or Madridi, a friendlier name for sure. The ship will be commanded by Dr. Marco herself. She's one of the greatest astrophysicists of all time, and she's the one who solved the Welter paradox, allowing the development of Cherenkov reactors capable of powering a spaceship for hundreds of years and enabling interstellar travel. She's on this particular mission since this is the most promising candidate for human establishment, even though it's the one furthest from Earth, 44 light-years away. Its parent orbits an F-type star at a healthy distance to avoid extreme solar wind and radiation. The moon is also protected by the gas giant's strong magnetic field. Surface temperature estimations are extremely promising when taking into account heat generated from tidal forces beside the star's energy output. If both other missions fail, their crews will probably be dead. That is, I'll be dead, when we finally hear about the outcome of the UNS Salvation. Always save the best to last, right? And since there's no guarantee that the people on Earth can survive for 88 years, at least as an organized interstellar travel-capable society, the ship is also carrying frozen human embryos. This is the UNSA's Way of saying, we might be all dead by the time we receive your message, so start breeding if the conditions are right. There were only enough embryos for one ship, so of course, the UNS Salvation got them. On that note, we have the UNS Determination, nicknamed the Dolphin by Captain Percy, which will hopefully land on Proxima Centauri B, the closest exoplanet to Earth, a mere 4.2 light-years away. I won't bother describing the planet here, since I'm sure we'll extensively document its characteristics on approach after settling in. Pluto Passage. We just passed Pluto. Didn't really get to see much since we were in Phase 2. I should explain, not really actually, since I'm the only one who's ever going to read this, but I feel like doing it to use this as a diary of sorts. Anyway, our first month and a half, 43 days to be exact, would mostly be spent accelerating out of the solar system. Using some back of the napkin math, we can see why. The Cherenkov reactor provides incredible propulsion efficiency. It's fascinating, really. Cherenkov radiation is only emitted when a charged particle moves through a dielectric medium faster than the phase velocity of light in that medium. Even though this sounds like it breaks all physics, it can happen, because it's the speed of light in a vacuum, which can't be exceeded. Okay, we've known this for over 250 years. Turns out that, as Dr. Marco discovered, when this happens, if enough energy is available in the medium, there's a spontaneous pair production of a tau neutrino and its antimatter counterpart. Since leptons possess chirality, I won't pretend to understand the rest of this. Basically, some really smart people figured out how to isolate the neutrinos from Cherenkov radiation and shoot them all in the same direction, which in high enough quantities can provide thrust. Now getting back to my math, we're going for a maximum velocity of 0.21 c, 21% of the speed of light, which means it will take us 20 years to reach Proxima Centauri. To achieve this, we have to accelerate like a lot. Astronauts experience around 3G's acceleration, about 30 meters a second per second. Anyway, during launch. If someone wants to translate that, go ahead, because since the acceleration burns would be absurdly long, the UNSC decided to cap it at 2.5 Gs to play it safe. Not that this makes the burns a walk in the park for anyone, though. 0.21 C is about 63,000 kilometers a second, and if we're accelerating at 25 meters a second per second, we need to burn the engines for around 700 hours to reach the desired speed. For us, that means 16 hours per day of being stuck to a seat, sedated, wearing ridiculous anti-G suits, constantly accelerating for 43 straight days. It's horrible. Of course, this is just my rough estimation. We weren't stationary when we started burning. We were in orbit, and I rounded up my calculation a lot. I'm sure the good people at the UNSA used a much more precise method. If not, we'll all be very dead very soon, which might happen anyway, of course. That's what the phases are about. Phase 1 is waking up, doing any work that needs to be done, checking ship status, etc., and then getting ready for the torture, which will ensue. Phase 2 is just accelerating. In Phase 3, we check each other's vitals and then try to get some rest for a few hours. For now, we only get 15 minutes of free time during Phase 2, and I'm using mine today to write this log. Also find it curious that even though we'll be traveling at more than that 1/5 the speed of light, relativistic effects will be practically negligible. Gamma will be about 1.022. Gotta love science. Gotta love science fiction. I don't know how scientifically accurate any of this actually is. So any science people, go nuts in the comments. Everything looks great so far. After we stabilized our speed, we started preparing the ship for the trip before the crew enters cryogenic stasis. I think that's actually cryonics, but anyway. We've spent the last few days double, triple, and quadruple checking every system and component. In a few hours, we'll all go into suspended animation. The ship's AI, which I've decided to name Sally, will have to deal with any problems that may arise on the way to Proxima Centauri. This is also the last time ever we'll be able to communicate with anyone on Earth, including our friends and family. Each of us is allowed to send a final audio message before entering the cryogeny pod, and then I'll never talk to my family again. In the best case scenario, in about 40 years, people on Earth will hear about our success on Proxima B, and a few, the lucky ones, will come and join us to form a new human civilization. A fresh start, so to speak. Of course, in the far more likely worst case scenario, I'll die a horrible, painful death much sooner than that. Gotta go. The next time I write here, I'll be 2 decades older, and we'll be in another star system. See you in 20 years. We've made it. I've never been more excited in my life. A few hours ago, Sally, as planned, woke all of us up, just as we were entering the Alpha Centauri system. The best part is that no one died while in cryonic stasis. I'm going to call it cryonics. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm going to call it cryonics. Long-term cryogeny testing back on Earth showed that up to 20% of people could die during the procedures. They assured us that they improved their technology since the studies were made, and I guess they were right. From now, the ship's control has been switched to manual, and the captain is going to be steering the ship, correcting the course until we're orbiting Proxima B. Besides being busy checking the ship's systems and structural integrity, we're getting insane amounts of data already that will only increase as we get closer to the planet. I gotta go. Exciting times ahead. We crashed yesterday. Don't know what happened, and I barely got out alive. Me and Corey were in the lab packing the final instruments come with us to the surface, and the ship started vibrating, and we knew something was wrong immediately. The vibration got incredibly strong way too fast, so we must have entered the atmosphere at an insane speed. We clearly wouldn't reach the landing pods in time, so me and Corey made the split-second decision to put the anti-G suits on and strap ourselves to the lab chairs, which were bolted to the floor. In the end, I think that's what saved our lives. Being stuck to the chair saved us from being wildly thrown around while the ship tumbled into the atmosphere, and the anti-G suits protected us from all the debris and impact forces. We were pretty banged up, but neither of us got seriously injured. The ship was mostly destroyed. Some of the areas situated deeper inside the station survived, since they were protected from much of the damage. The thing is, we'd been in a stable orbit since yesterday. We've been collecting all sorts of data, and we were only supposed to send the landing pods today. How the hell did this happen? Corey's convinced somebody fired the engines to degrade our orbit quickly and without anyone noticing. I don't buy it. The navigation system has many failsafes that can only be bypassed with permission from several crew members, including the captain. So either there was a crazy crew-wide suicide party nobody invited us to, or there must be some other explanation. Keep saying that somebody could have hacked the nav system, avoiding the failsafes, but I find that unlikely. Pretty sure the Cherenkov reactor must have started leaking neutrinos due to how much strain we've put on the engines in the past few days, and that caused us to start losing speed without anyone noticing until our orbit decayed and we hit the atmosphere. Me and Corey spent most of yesterday searching the wreckage for survivors. None so far. We found Rhodes. She was inside the cryogeny pod. She must have thought that it might protect her during the crash. We've also been collecting as much usable materials, instruments, and machines as we could. We'll sort the inventory once we've searched everything. Some progress. It's been 2 weeks since the crash. I checked the logs, and Sally says a few of the crewmates ejected a capsule just after we entered the atmosphere. I don't know who they were, but I'm guessing they were trying to survive just like us. Even if they're alive, which is unlikely, they probably landed far away from us, and we don't have the luxury of being able to go look for them, at least for now. In the meantime, Corey and I have been hard at work setting up the camp. We built a small hub where we sleep and keep most of our important stuff, and around the hub we assembled all the important machinery that survived. Generator, air extractor, smelter, and industrial 3D printer. Only a few drones survived the crash, but they've been enormously useful doing the heavy work for us, carrying materials, welding, and building essentially. We just tend to supervise and guide the drones, but we also help with some construction to speed them up. The only problem we got is water extraction, but our reserves will last us plenty of time, so it's a minor issue for now. Eventually we'll also have to build a greenhouse to grow our own food, but that also won't be an issue for a while. We got lucky by crashing just above a subterranean river. Extracting water from underground reservoirs is easy enough with help from the drones Corey and I could salvage, of course. The thing is, the groundwater extractor didn't survive the impact, and even if it did, we couldn't possibly assemble it on our own without a proper engineer, and well, they're all dead. Besides, running a machine like that takes some serious juice, and the hub's energy supply is finicky as is, so to automate the process, our only option was to build an improvised water pump, which took a while. Certainly not too efficient, but it works, especially since there's only 2 of us. We have to bathe in the good old-fashioned astronaut way. No water, only soap. Also, Corey insists to record in this log. Since you're logging information about water, I guess we could say that the computer is now waterlogged. It's pretty dumb, but that got a good chuckle out of me for the first time since the crash. It's not easy. Things are looking up, but we'll make it after all. I haven't written here in a while. I haven't had any free time since every day there's a minor issue that needs addressing. Nothing major usually until now, that is. Yesterday, one of the generator's cores went offline for a few minutes. Neither of us is an engineer, so we couldn't diagnose the issue very well. Corey suggested it might have been overheating, so we reset the cooling system, and sure enough, the core eventually went back online. I'm still convinced he got lucky, but now he's convinced that he's the best engineer ever, which is actually pretty funny, though I'm sure it'll get annoying eventually. Anyway, the point is, I'm worried that this might have been a hint about what's to come. If the generator fails, I don't think there's much we can do to survive. We could only retrieve a few working solar panels from the wreckage, and those don't provide nearly enough power. So we fully depend on the generator for power. If it stops working, we're gone. It's hopeless. Everything's dead here. No matter how many expeditions I go on, how many samples I take, there's no trace of anything living on here. I've essentially lost all hope. No point in stopping, I suppose, since there's always a chance, but I just know Proxima B won't be the next home for humanity. Hope the other crews made it. Maybe their planets harbor life, who knows. Problem is for us to settle on a planet, bringing thousands of people here, we need to terraform it. We need at least that many people to maintain a healthy, viable population, but that requires a huge amount of resources, the most important of which are water, food, and air. Food can be grown on greenhouses, and at least on Proxima B, water can be extracted from rivers and underwater reservoirs. The planet's atmospheric composition is also harmless to humans, which is good. The only problem is that the oxygen concentration is too low, about half that of Earth, roughly 10%. So, for a civilization to settle here, we need to terraform the planet. Engineers considered building colonies enclosed in huge domes, but that would not serve as a long-term solution, and they decided the plan was too risky. How would we build the domes? We could have as many drones as we wanted, but that's just too complex. How long would it take for something to break? Even if everything worked flawlessly for decades, or we fix the problems as they arise, eventually something could fail catastrophically and we'd all suffocate. So they settled on terraforming the planet as our best chance. Now, terraforming is a complex process, which definitely takes a long time, several generations for sure. However, the most crucial resource for a successful terraforming operation on Proxima B is indubitably oxygen. More specifically, a steady oxygen supply, and without life, we don't have a permanent oxygen source. Simple as that, as our captain would say. Of course, we could grow Earth algae and bacteria in a greenhouse, but it would take hundreds of thousands of years to produce enough oxygen to terraform a whole-ass planet. So, that isn't an option either. Even if we had domes, as I said, they'd fail way before the terraforming was done. That's why we need to find endemic oxygen-producing alien species for this to work. If we find them, and if lots of ifs in this plan, but it's still the best one we've got. We find a way to mass-produce these specimens that would accelerate the terraforming process hundredfold, and we might be able to get it done in a few hundred years. In the meantime, people would have to wear oxygen masks, no need for pressure suits since the pressure here is similar to Earth's. That wouldn't be an issue because we'd have a steady oxygen supply from alien life. Of course, we also have no idea if some alien life forms, if they even exist, that is, produce oxygen. Some scientists claim that life will tend to evolve similarly. Oxygenic photosynthesis brought upon great evolutionary advantages to cyanobacteria billions of years ago on Earth, so the same process might evolve on alien biospheres as well. Who knows? I have my doubts, but I admit it's possible. If I didn't think so, I'd never have come on this mission, because if that's not the case, there's no way we could ever build a successful, long-lasting colony on an exoplanet, eventually re-establishing human civilization. Corey's missing. He went somewhere east on an expedition to explore an underground cave. I know something's wrong because he's not responding when I radio him. Can't lose him. I don't know how I'd hold on without him. I'm sure I would have died long ago if it weren't for him. I already disassembled his bed and put it in storage, not because I don't think he's coming back, but I can't stand looking at an empty bed every night. Not that we have a night, but alas, and wondering if he's still alive or not. Problem is, I can't go looking for him. The generator's too unstable. Any day now, another core is going to break, and I have to be here to rewire the power distribution. Or the generator's instability will rapidly increase and will eventually permanently stop working. Okay, these are short. Crew logs, post-launch review. All systems are looking good after launch. Crew members are performing stress checks and instrument verification. Acceleration phase will commence in a few hours. Captain Percy. Lab equipment, looking great. Shirkanov reactor stable. Engines are healthy. Thrust capability, 96%. Communication links are strong. Gyro is calibrated. AI neural network stable and healthy. Navigation is working and calibrated. Cryonic pods ready to receive crew. All systems are go. T2 hours until stasis. Initial observations confirm some of our suspicions. Proxima B is a rocky planet, slightly larger and more massive than Earth, but the gravity should be similar. The planet is tidally locked, so the star will never move in its sky. As expected, this creates large temperature differences between the lit and dark sides. Intermediate latitudes should experience warm but comfortable temperatures around 30 C, and we should aim to land there. We've also made a few surprising and exciting discoveries. The planet has a much higher atmospheric density than expected, and its composition is also unexpected. The atmosphere contains about 10% oxygen, whose geological source is still unknown. I'll have to figure that out once we land. The planet's magnetic field is also much stronger than predicted, which probably protects Proxima B against the star's strong solar winds, allowing it to keep its atmosphere. The Great Oxygen Mystery. Apparently this atmosphere situation is much more complex than I reported yesterday. It turns out the magnetic field is strong, but not strong enough to stop parts of the upper atmosphere from being swept off by powerful solar winds. It appears the heavier gases like carbon dioxide, and methane, and ammonia stay in the lower atmospheric layers. Simple oxygen and nitrogen molecules are light enough to rise to the upper layers, and they're expelled from the atmosphere. So these lighter molecules should be present only in trace amounts. However, we are detecting significantly higher concentrations of these compounds than expected, especially oxygen. There must be a constant geological source that keeps replenishing the lost gases. We have identified strong geological activity on the planet already, including earthquakes and volcanoes, so my current hypothesis is that these frequent events release oxygen and nitrogen from Proxima B's interior. I'll know more once we land. Communication systems are healthy, locked on Earth and ready to send signals if necessary. Necessary lab equipment is packed and ready to load. AI is stable. Navigation system or landing protocol ready to initiate. Cherenkov reactor completely stable and fully functional. Landing preparations going smoothly. Landing pod scheduled to release tomorrow. And then it all went wrong. Okay, that took like almost my entire playtime, so I'm going to play a little bit more and keep this episode a little longer. Because, yeah, that was a lot. That was a lore dump. Actually, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back, and maybe the frame rate will be smoother. I just made some quick changes using my graphic software. That appears to not be the case now. Good lord. That micro stutter's so bad. Oh well, in for a penny. 36 degrees Celsius. See, right here you can see that stutter is like, oof. So, push and nothing. Okay. Authorized personnel only. Let's go outside. It seems to be...
All systems are go for EVA.
Oh. Seems more stable outside.
All right, mate. Remember, the satellite is just up ahead. Keep moving forward till you see it, fix it, then come back. Simple as that.
Am I doing a flashback sequence? Okay.
Stand by for depressurization.
Okay, I'm doing a flashback, I guess. Okay. Oh, the game was making me waste the oxygen stuff that I already had. What am I repairing? Oh. That? Okay. Okay. That is the most deceiving thing ever. Oh. Yeah, so, dear game, explain mechanics like that before they happen.
All systems are go for EVA.
Because,
All right, mate.
then that happens.
Remember, the satellite is just up ahead. Keep moving forward till you see it, fix it, then come back. Simple as that.
Okay. Now that I am not
Stand
moving
by
at
for
all.
depressurization.
Yeah. Mechanics that can kill me like that need to just be, like, default taught. I had no idea I was actually burning what I needed to get to where I needed to go. And I apologize to any and everyone who is afraid of space. Good lord, this is... Fix? Ooh. Oh, this is a lot harder than expected. Okay, and now the fix button's got... Okay, I am actually kind of irritated by this now. Oh my god. Okay. Fix. I'm probably gonna die.
Satellite comms back online. Please return to the ship.
Okay. I'm probably gonna die. This is clunky. This is extremely clunky, which I get the point. Accurate, maybe. But still clunky. Ugh. Actually, I might make it. Even though, like, nearly died because I... Oh, I didn't die this time. Okay, go inside. Okay, I completed that, even though that was... That was pain. Oh, and now I'm in space. Okay. Alright, Sally, give me a status report.
According to the internal logs, one additional thermonuclear head malfunctioned yesterday at 3:22 p.m. 3 of the 8 thermonuclear heads are currently not operational. The generator won't be able to function for much longer.
Okay. So go fix them. So what now?
We must find a way to stabilize or replace the generator.
Lovely. Okay. I'm going to change the game down to medium. Okay, that is much better with next to no visual difference other than blurry graphics. By we, I assume you mean me. Airline crashed and a couple of crew members fled with an emergency capsule. Where did they land exactly? There's no difference. It's still bad. Okay. And this is why we add frame rate control to our games.
Emergency landing pod number 14, carrying 2 unidentified crewmates, landed on Aquilon Planitia.
Aquilon Planitia. What is that? It's on the dark side. Fuck.
Indeed. However, it's likely that the thermoelectric power cell on board is still operational, and it could be extracted to stabilize the hub's power supply.
Okay. Okay, I guess it's the only chance we've got.
Perhaps now would be a good time to address the pending matters inside or outside the hub, since the trip will be lengthy.
Fair. I can't take the rover. The path to the dark side is too rocky. Oops. Better get ready for a good walk.
When you are ready to proceed, follow the path to the north.
To the north? Okay. It'll be a long journey. Going to the dark side is practically suicide, but then again, what do I have to lose? So, since I do not have a compass, what direction is north? Hope I have infinite oxygen. No, the graves in a single chair. So this game is one of those games that AMD's Radeon software cannot actually control. So I can't actually lock my frame rate like I wanted to. Dear all game developers in the future, Indie included, if your game's like this, please, please, please add frame rate control, because I'd rather have a lower frame rate than what my computer can max at, for the sake of stability. Oh, here we go. Okay, that was a very long loading time.
You are right to be alarmed. My data suggests this is a Category 4 storm caused by Proxima-induced atmospheric disturbance.
It's the lighting engine.
In the dark side.
Lovely. You always find the best way to comfort me.
I'm glad.
I was being sarcastic. To be completely honest,
I have placed an indicator on the top right of your visor showing the current distance to the signal's location.
Oh. Thanks. I'll also use my flashlight for guidance.
You should also be careful when crossing the frozen lake in a few hundred meters. The ice may be fragile and could break.
Oh, lovely. Oh, we have the same reaction. That's great. I move very slowly. Yeah, being dark and my performance suddenly being non-problematic immediately tells me that this is an issue of lighting more than anything. Oh, great. So this is going to be one of those I'm going to have to cross a lake and pay attention to the potentially shattering ice. Okay. While I nearly die because of the storm. Well, I'm closing that distance pretty damn fast, so that's good news. The sound design's pretty good in this game, I'll give it that much credit too. And the way I'm enjoying this so far. That's something. Oh. So I can't just straight shot it, I actually have to walk around. Cool. I'm probably gonna die here. I got no illusion of that. So whether I die or actually progress, well, I'll call the episode that way either way because I've played this longer than intended tonight. It's kind of late. And I've got to prepare other stuff like work on my mod for my other series potentially showing up. Maybe not next Monday, maybe the Monday after next. I keep giving projections for it. But I'll probably never meet that I'm dead. I am 100% dead. Oh, damn it. No wonder too far off course. Which, admittedly, I did choose to play the game on adventure instead of peaceful. So partially my fault. Wish there was a way to actually just recover some of my lost health, though. The deaths in this game, this one's is somewhat different, but they're abrupt and out of nowhere. You don't know what's going to happen typically till it's too late. Oh. Oh, that just killed me. Of course it just killed me. Oh. I'm going to try it one more time.
You are right to be alarmed. My data suggests this is a category
And give it
4
one more
storm
shot.
caused by Proxima-induced atmospheric disturbance, a common occurrence in the dark side.
Think I know where to go? For a rough idea? Just a giant ice wall there, I guess.
I'm glad.
It's either directly forward or slightly to the right.
I have placed an indicator on the top right of your visor showing the current distance to the signal's location.
Okay, I have no idea why my taskbar just popped up for a split second, but okay.
You should also be careful when crossing the frozen lake in a few hundred meters. The ice may be fragile and get wet.
Yeah, not surprising. Lovely. All of this is just lovely. That accent I'm using considered Cockney? I don't know. I know there's a variety of British accents, and Cockney's one of them. I'm going to say generic fantasy accent that everyone uses in fantasy TV shows and games. Or corrupted British. Insert joke about the British already being corrupt. I'm a comedian, right? Okay. So I'm back to where I was. I know once I get to the lake's entrance, it's where I need to go, and I need to use my flashlight to make sure I don't just tumble to my death. Oh. Or, you know, I could just jump like that. And then I fell to my death because my flashlight did not tell me. This is going to be rough. But that is absolutely all the time that I have for this particular episode. So, that being said, I'm going to call it here, and I'll pick this back up 3 weeks from now, technically, because I got the Long Dark, then I got Binding of Isaac. We'll see. Either way, as always, thank you all for watching. I'm gonna have to mute her audio. If you're enjoying your stay, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff helps me out. YouTube might notice me. Exposure, all that good stuff. Either way, this is Bearadactyl signing off, and I'll see you all later.